I'm going to teach you the exact system to dominate NoFap. If you don't know my story already, I was addicted to porn for 6 years, from the age of 13 to 19. I then discovered and implemented this exact system, and I was able to quit easily within months. As a 19-year-old, not many guys can say they've quit porn, and the only reason I've done it is because of this system. It's the best on the internet, and I'm going to teach you today to destroy NoFap and make it easy to quit. All right? Step number 1. Forget about NoFap, all right? That's your first step. Forget about the NoFap streak for now, and that is how you get a high NoFap streak. This sounds weird, but just pay attention. The more you obsess over getting a high NoFap streak, the more urges you get, and the more likely you're going to fail and reset your NoFap streak, all right? The reason so many guys fail to quit porn is because they start on NoFap. They're addicted to porn, okay? And they start on NoFap, and this is their first mistake. The reason this doesn't work is because when you're addicted to porn, you are watching it every single day, right? That's one extreme. You're watching it every day, you're addicted. NoFap is the other extreme. It's never watching it again, and you can't go from one extreme to the other. Now, these videos online that they say the NoFap works, they get the most views, okay? Because it's like quit porn in 2 weeks, but that's all bullshit. That does not work, all right? Those videos, those guys, they're lying to you. They're completely lying to you. You cannot quit porn in 2 weeks. You've had this addiction for years, and that is not going to work. So step 1 is to forget about NoFap for now. I'll get you to whatever streak you want using my exact system. But this is the start. Don't go on NoFap. What do you do instead? Go on LessFap. This is my personal system. It is pretty much where you fap less this month than you did last month. So if last month you watched porn 20 times, this month watch it 17 times. Next month 15. The month after that 12. Keep going down like that. Don't be autistic about it and be like, okay, so last month I watched it. Just relax. Make sure you're jacking off less this month than you did last month. Alright? If it's by 1, that's fine. If you watched porn 40 times last month and you want to do it 39 this month, that's fine. Why? Because that is still progress. And you still get to watch porn while making progress. So it's just the best of both worlds. It's fucking easy. Just stop being a dickhead. Turn your brain off and stop trying to quit porn in 2 weeks. You're the reason you're addicted. You're the reason you jacked off 1,000 times. Okay? Don't expect to quit in 2 weeks. It's not that easy. You've got to get out of this addiction. And you can get disheartened, have a small dick about it. But you should actually be excited. This is a journey. You're going to wage war against porn. You're going to quit, and you're automatically going to be ahead of 99% of guys. 99% of guys are literally addicted to porn and jacking off. Think about that. That's your competition, okay? Why do you think I have so much confidence I'm going to build a massive business and an empire? Because look at my competition. They're all losers, okay? The reason I've got this energy and this drive is because I quit porn. That is exactly why I teach guys how to do it. That's why eventually I'm going to teach 1 million guys how to quit porn. And I'm going to save everyone from it because it's evil and disgusting, okay? So, LessFap. Just simply fap less this month than you did last month, okay? That's what you start on. You do not start on NoFap. You start on LessFap. I'll tell you why. But first, if you want the full exact system that I used to quit porn that took me from a 6-year gooning loser to quitting almost instantly within months, right? What other 19-year-old can say he's done that? If you want the full system, plus a bonus section on how to speak and attract girls, it's in the description below, so check it out. Be like all the other winners who have checked it out, bought it, and changed their life. It's very cheap, right? You have no issue spending that money on a pair of trainers that do nothing for your life. So if you truly want to change your life, take the risk, buy it, and thank me later. Honestly, I'm going to increase the price soon. I should be selling that shit for hundreds, but I'm not. So check it out now before the price goes up. So the reason you start on LessFap and not NoFap is because before you go for a NoFap streak, you've got to get your addiction under control. Whether you want to admit it and it's an addiction or not, it is. You're addicted to porn. You've got to get it under control before you go for a high streak. And that's where LessFap comes in. You slowly taper down your porn consumption to the point where it doesn't become an issue. In my clients, I've usually seen this is about 6 to 12 months down the line, you're doing LessFap, and this is where the addiction becomes under control. you're watching porn a few times a month, you find it boring, most importantly, and you just don't have a desire to watch it. You find it cringy and weird, and that's the point you'll get to, I promise you, okay? I never thought I'd get to this point, but I do. I find it weird and cringy. This is when you go for a NoFap streak. It makes so much more sense doing it this way than doing it when you're addicted and reliant on porn, because it's just going to make you depressed and you will fail, inevitably. This way, I've controlled your addiction, you find porn boring, and it's just easy to get a streak. Alright, it's so simple to get a streak at this point. 30 days, 60 days, whatever you want. And also, you're going to be getting the benefits of not watching porn. The confidence will go up, your anxiety will go, your not giving a fuck attitude will go up, all these things. And when you're getting these things, you're not going to jack off. You just won't jack off, trust me. Okay, you're not going to want to lose these benefits, trust me. And you'll just get energy and motivation to do everything in life. And that's the edge you need. That is your competitive edge over guys in this race of life. That's why you're going to be richer than the losers around you. That's why you're going to make just something of your life. That's why you're going to make more gains in the gym. That's why you're going to find your wife. Because you have the energy, the motivation, the confidence, all these things from quitting porn, okay? So this benefits your life in every single way. And when you start seeing these benefits, you ain't going to jack off that day. Trust me on that, okay? So we've got your addiction under control. Now we'll go for your streak, okay? Now you don't need to obsess over the streak, but if you do want to get to a streak on NoFap and just destroy NoFap, that's how you do it, pretty much, okay? That's exactly what I teach in the link below. One more tip I'm going to give you, because I truly want to help you on this journey of getting a high NoFap streak, or, you know, tapering your addiction down on less fap. Urges are inevitable. They're always going to come. So don't go in with the mindset that, oh, you know, urges, they're just going to suddenly one day disappear. No. I still get urges to watch porn, and I've not watched porn in over 100 days. I still get the urges to watch it. Everyone does. Why? Because it's a normal human function. It's a sex drive. It's testosterone. It's completely normal. In fact, if you didn't get urges, it'll be weird. Because it would be like, okay, what's wrong with your body? So the next time you get an urge, don't you dare be a dickhead and be mad at yourself for it and just start being depressed and, you know, it's just stupid. Oh, I've got an urge to watch porn, I'm a failure. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's stupid. The amount of guys that have texted me that I've helped them quit porn, they'd be like, yeah, I got an urge, I'm a failure, so I had to jack off. I'm like, are you a dickhead? I got an urge today too. I didn't jack off, okay? There's no excuse. Urges were going to come inevitably. All right, it just shows you've got testosterone and a man. So accept that. Be like, oh, I've got a sex drive right now. You know, I'm horny. Cool, let's move on. Let's go to the gym. Let's go for a run. You don't have to freaking spray your seed like a weirdo, do you? The fat man on a diet, right? He gets the urge to eat. He's hungry. Would you tell him to eat? Because, you know, he's hungry. No, you'd say, no, you're fat. Keep eating and you'll die. So stop eating for now. I don't care if you're hungry, lose the gut. It's the same with you. You've got a porn addiction that is going to ruin your life, I promise you. Look at all these losers. The middle-aged man is a loser because of that. And it may be your parents, so it's sad, but it's the truth. And it may be you, but you're here now and you're going to try and change that. Porn will ruin your life, okay? Porn will ruin your life. So you've got this porn addiction that you need to kill and get rid of, right? So, because you're horny, you do not need to jack off. If I wanted to jack off, I could, because I knew I would never make it an addiction again. I wouldn't, because I'm not a loser anymore, but I could. That's the point. You need to control your addiction. And, you know, when you take my advice and it works, which it fucking will, because it always does, right? Because I've got the best porn advice on the internet. When my advice works for you and you're jacking off 1 or 2 times a month, if you want to stay at that point and do it, that's fine. That's not an issue, okay? Like, I'd rather you didn't jack off at all, but if you want to do it 1 or 2 times a month, that's fine. That's not an addiction, okay? That's just doing it every once in a while. You know, completely fine. But at this point, you're doing it every day or however much, control it, because it will ruin your life. Like, don't act surprised that you're not confident, that you're anxious to speak to people, that you don't have a girlfriend, that you're not attracting your wife. Don't be surprised that you don't have energy to build a business and do all this shit. Don't be surprised if you're still jacking off and none of these things are happening for you. You'll be amazed what happens when you quit porn. That's why I'm going to help you do it. All right? Again, link in the description to change your life. Just take the risk and get the best porn quitting system on the planet, plus a bonus section on how to speak and attract girls. I hope this helped. If it did, subscribe. Watch another one of my videos to change your life. Goodbye.